Why? This is the question I will continuously ask as to why they canceled this show. Man, when I tell you I was getting into the show, I watched it pretty late. I watched it actually this past year, and when I finished the season, I was like, okay, when's the next one coming out? It's got to be coming out soon, right? Man, when I go on there, I just see disappointment after disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And I just want to talk about it. And if y'all don't know, then I'm going to give you the information as to why they did this. Hello, y'all. I'm Corwin. Welcome to Wandering Words. And today we're going to be speaking about why Netflix canceled this show. For what? I mean, there's some good reasons, but at the same time, it's like, just give it another shot. Give it another shot. Now, if you love true crime like me, if you like psychology, learning why they do what they do, why these dudes do what they do, because it's all dudes. Like, majority of the crimes are dudes. If you like shows like that, then you probably heard of Mindhunter. This is a show created by David Fincher based off the same show title name, which debuted in 2017. Now, when I first watched this show, I tried to watch it a couple times, but I want to say the first like 5 minutes didn't really get my attention. And I think I was doing something at the time, both of the two attempts of trying to watch it. But the last attempt, I was like actually sitting down and I was locked in the show. And ever since then, I didn't stop watching it. I watched the whole thing through. I would download it, watch it at work, watch it on the way somewhere if I had the time. And it was just so captivating because I was already getting really into true crime and watching YouTube videos about different cases and whatnot. Shout out to Call Me Chris. Just watching them actually replay it in a live action fashion was really cool to see. One of the things I loved about this show is that you're not really jumping into shootouts and action-packed things. A lot of the tension comes just from dialogue and crescendo and the score and just the realism of it actually happening and in the interviews that they conduct between these serial killers. And I think one of the reasons why this stands out is because the hook, along with the cinematography and the direction the show takes, is different apart from all the other shows that have came out in the true crime genre. We have the Ed Gein story that just came out, the Mendez brothers and the Jeffrey Dahmer, and those are in general crowd pleasers, good to the rest of the crowd, but people that actually understand film and storytelling and realize that these were actual people, actual events that affected other people's lives. This show takes it to another level in a sense of recognizing that these people are crazy. These people are not like normal people and not normalizing them. Now, in a sense, there is some cases where they try to level with the serial killers, but there's no relation as far as like, I can see myself in this person. No, you can actually discern that they are actually crazy and still be able to enjoy the understanding of trying to see what's in the mind of these serial killers. So I want to get into 4 reasons why this show was so amazing. Number 1 is the deep psychology of these serial killers over sensationalism. Now, like I said earlier, this show does not sensationalize the serial killers. It goes into the psychology of to why they do what they do. This show doesn't glamorize killers or rely on jump scares. They scare you by seeing how these serial killers actually think and what they think is normal, which all in all makes it way more scary, like way more scary. So I really love how they actually take this psychology approach than your typical true crime show, just giving you facts. They give you a lot of facts, but they also give you a lot of deeper meaning to why they do what they do. Number 2, we have cinematic style and top tier craft. I put a double whammy on this one, double combo, because the cinematic style I'm talking about is obviously it being shot, but then also the world building of the 70s, 80s era, it's done to a T. Now, with David Fincher at the helm, obviously the style is amazing. I loved his last movie. I don't know if it was his last movie, but it was the Killer movie. Man, love that movie. Love the pacing. Love how slow it was. It's like goes hand in hand with this show. And so his tone, his pacing, and just how he is able to encapsulate this whole world of just this era of where these crimes were taking place, because you know it's the 70s, 80s. You got the technology that's out of date, the cars that are different for its time period. It's nothing in this show that you can really discern it being where it was even shot today. It looks like it was shot back then, but with today's production quality. And so with him taking on this position of creativity and encapsulating this world, he did it so amazing. And it was just something that honestly, any other show, I can't really think of any right now that had done a good a job as this. Now, number 3, the clear and obvious reason, it's the storytelling. Rather than offering these neat resolutions with a clear distinction between good and evil, Mindhunter explores the complexity of these serial killers and the psychology cost on these agents as well. So it's not just the killers that are being explored, but the agents and how they're affected and how their lives outside of these interviews are affected as well. Alongside with that, we have the systematic failures, especially towards the end of the season. It just goes to show how there's so many flaws in the system and where they could be improving to make things a lot better. And a lot of serial killers, I mean, in my opinion, just from other cases that I've seen, the police, they just didn't do shit. And that's the reason why a lot of these serial killers got away with these things. They would see something and just, it's whatever. Like, no, get on that. If that looks crazy, get on it and stop it right there. But they don't. They just let things go on and on and on and be like, oh, it's just a coincidence. What? But I digress. This show's narrative doesn't rush. You know, we get to know these characters, get to pretty much fall in love with these characters. And whenever things happen later on in the season, we care for them, such as Holden. You know, he has panic attacks and you can see how it's affecting him in his psychology from that. Also with Bill, he has a son that is pretty much mirroring a serial killer. I'm just saying. I don't know if he did end up one, but if you watch the show, you know. Alongside the character development, you know, the horror leaves you with a lingering what happened in there, or like, this actually happened in real life. Could it happen to me? I don't know. So it gives you that real world horror, which I find more scary than any type of like paranormal or conjuring or anything. Now, number 4, we have real life basis and true crime roots. Now, because this show was based off of real life events from FBI interrogations or interviews, it adds a real heavy weight to the show that doesn't really add to a lot of shows. We have shows like the Ed Gein and the Dahmer and Mendez that aren't really true facts in the show. So whenever I'm watching them, I'm like, what? This didn't even happen. Like, there's so many things in the Ed Gein story. I was like, if you watched a lot of true crime documents or documentaries on Ed Gein, you would know, watching the show, like, I stopped watching after the first episode. It just didn't make any sense. So the weight really matters in this show because it actually happened. I'm going to say this again. It actually happened. It being so parallel, minus the 2 main characters. I believe that they're just not made up, but based off of real life agents. But everybody else, you know, is essentially real people and real events that have happened. And just also the casting for a lot of these characters were done great. And I think they did a great job of imitating that onto the screen. Now let's get into the reasons why they canceled it. I'm okay. Let's get into the reasons why they canceled it. Number one is that it was just too expensive for the audience size. I guess at the time it came out, the audience wasn't really gravitated towards the show, which my bad on that, because I probably was one of them. Because I started watching it when it first came out. Like the first episode, I kept trying to watch it and it just didn't get my... Oh, I feel so bad saying it now. I can't even say it. But yeah, the audience size was too small to continue the series. And so it just simply fell to audience size here, dollar size here, and it just did not level up at all. Number two is that the demand size and budget would have to be reduced. Now, I feel like this is a very solid reason because, the production scale was just so expensive. Like, it was just, if you watch the show, it was just shot so good. Production was just so good. I feel like if they brought it down, it reduced in quality, it wouldn't hold up as much as it's holding up now. So that's a very solid reason. And so the show's creators ultimately just decided to snip. Now, the next reason we have is exhaustion and creative burden. In some interviews, David Fincher admitted that he was working about 90-hour work weeks. I can't even imagine working 90 hours for a show that's not getting no views. That's my show right now, or my channel. That's different. But aside from that, he was moving from location to location. So it was like, it wasn't really stable. The viewership wasn't there. It just wasn't at the time for him, I believe, a good choice to keep doing the show if he's not getting anything back from it. And the last reason we have is that the cast was released and the show was put on an indefinite hold. And so when the show was put on hold, they said it might release again and like gave some rumors, but then ultimately, obviously, that's why we're here today, and the show ended up quietly being canceled. So with overtime, no momentum, creators focusing on other projects, the show effectively died, despite its passionate fan base. It's unfortunate, but I still feel like they did a great thing. They executed it so well, it cannot be replicated. Man, I love this show so much, and the show ended with so many unresolved threads. Like, they had the BTK killer thing going, and the fact that we couldn't see that was like so upsetting. And that's the reason why I looked more into this, because I was like, okay, yeah, when's the next season coming out? Because obviously they're going to, right? But haven't heard anything. I did see somewhere that it may be revived, put it into the universe. Hopefully it may happen. It may or may not. We'll see. But I don't think it's happening anytime soon. I do love what they did already, and it would have been nice to see, so many other serial killers explored, maybe some different agents that worked on the cases with like, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and it actually be done right this time. Man, such an amazing show that got ended too soon due to poor viewership. And I just ask that anybody, if you love something and you love watching it, just support it, because that's the difference of it continuing or not continuing, and support real artistry, that's actually giving great storytelling and not just throwing stuff up on a screen. But that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and peace.